Hello, my friends. Hope all is well with you. And today's topic, I'm going to talk more about this book, Emotional Intelligence. Yes. Why do I want to share with you about this book? Before we start, I want to show you around. This is the beautiful harbor. So it's not a background picture, but it's a real life picture, as you can see, people walking around. So yeah, why do I want to share with you about this book, and why is it important in this day and age? Before you want to control your emotion, you definitely need to read this book. I don't get any royalties of it, but this is a classic book, Emotional Intelligence, written by Daniel Goleman. He's a phenomenal guy. He basically has a phenomenal ways of doing it. He has a second book about it also, by the way. It's called Working with Emotional Intelligence. But start with this one first, because in a few minutes time, I'm going to tell you why this book is revolutionary. Because first, the reason is we always talk about controlling your emotions, because that is what we have been taught all our life, right? If you cry, then people say, hey, stop crying. You have to control your emotion. If you're angry, like me, people say, hey, you have to control your anger, and etc., etc. You know what I mean? Many type of emotions. But I have to say, it's very hard. It's not easy, right? So all of us know that it's very hard, just easy to read, but it's very hard to implement. Okay. There's several ways that you can do. My friend has shared with me, he's a psychologist. And also he says, if you're angry, there's a few ways you can do and try to control it. But then in the end of the day, he also said you cannot really control your emotion. Don't suppress your emotion, because otherwise it will lead to a lot of depression and a lot of things, bad things, because you cannot really suppress the thing that is inside and it wants to explode. It make it even worse. So number one is basically, whenever you feel anger, like I gave you an example yesterday, I was basically trying to search for my receipt, my warranty of my laptop, because it has a 2-year warranty. There was an issue with my laptop, and I quickly want to find the receipt so that I can bring it to the factory. And then I have another appointment that's coming in 1 hour, and I promised my friend that I'll be there for sure, because I promised him already so many times, and this time I said I will definitely come. Guess what? I couldn't find the receipt. But I still remember 2 months ago, I've put the receipt in the bag, and I remember I took it out and I put it back, and just kind of stuff in my memory. I searched the bag, I searched the receipt bag, and nothing. I couldn't find anything. And then I text my friend. I said, apology, I need to give me a few minutes. I'll be a little bit late because I'm searching for a receipt. But he's very friendly. His name is Roland. Roland, if you're listening, thank you. So he gave me a few minutes. He says, that's fine, just come over whenever you can. And I couldn't find it. I couldn't find the receipt anymore. So I thought, I promised my friend that I'll be there, so just forget it. After a half hour of search, I thought this time I have to go to see my friend. So my friend is happy, and we talk about things, and I told him, he's asked me, did you find a receipt? I said, no, I haven't. He said, oh, okay, you seem really stressed out. I said, yeah, because otherwise now I have to pay for the repair of my laptop. And then he says, okay. I thought he said he's going to buy me a laptop, but anyway, he said no. In this case, try to recall your memory. Go back. I always teach people about it. My kids also go back, but I forgot about this philosophy, and it's true. And then he says, go back to a memory where you got it. I said, yeah, I know. A few months ago, I went to my bag. I went to receipt bag. Anything, I couldn't find it. And then he says, it's okay. Relax. Let's have a talk about something else first. After we talk over an hour, and then he came back to the subject, which is phenomenal, friend. And he says, about the receipt, right? I said, yeah. I go home later. I'm going to search and try to find it. He says, yeah, just remember when you go back, and before you go back, you have to not use your emotion to go back. Just use your clarity of the mind, that you need to understand that it's still in your subconscious mind. It's programmed. I'll talk about it in the next session about the book Subconscious Mind. The Power of Your Subconscious Mind is very good book. I would highly recommend you. So basically he says, because our memory do remember where the receipt is. So the only thing you need to do now is just try, without your using emotion, without the anger emotion that is trying to come out. So, I couldn't find it. But then he says, just use that calm emotion and figure out where you put it. Wow. Guess what? It took me only 1 minute. Yes, I know this sounds weird, but it is really 1 minute. That I went under my bed and I found the old bag, a laptop bag. And I thought, couldn't be in there, right? That's weird. And I open it, it's in there. So I'll show you the document now. So this document was inside the laptop bag that I never use the laptop bag. Nowadays we don't really travel that much anymore with the laptop. You just stay home. So I never thought that I put it here inside. Then I recall, oh yeah, I did put it. Anyway, so long story short about that apology is really whenever you cannot find your keys or your documents or anything that you remember you put it there before, just go away, take a shower, go away from the environment. After a few hours, hopefully you come back and then you will find it. And most of the time you'll find it because your mind knows about it. It's recorded somewhere. You have to find the file in your mind. Anyway, the second one that he teach me about, which is phenomenal, friend, by the way, he says, okay, you said you're angry. I said, yeah, I try to control it. He said, don't control it, remember. We've been taught to flow with it, remember? I said, yeah, well, how to flow with it? I don't know. And he says, very easy. I have a cat, and if you can have a fluffy animal, a pet at home, that would be helpful to start with. I said, no, I'm allergic to cats. How about dogs? I'm allergic to dogs. Anything that's hairy. He was laughing. He says, anyway, something that you feel that you cannot be angry at. Any animal that speaks to you or a pet that you cannot be angry at. And then just, maybe trying to go and visit that often, or maybe at home is better, so that you have a little bit like, just imagine you have a dog or a cat at home, right? And every time you come home stressful and you see the dog or a cat, you'll be so blissful. Because they have no anger. They're always so happy. And the tail of the dog, and that makes life much easier. So second of all, he told me is indeed have a pet. Anything that can empty your mind, so to be in the present moment. I like it. So that's the number 2 that I want to share with you. Number 3 that I think will be helpful as well. If anything's friction between the significant others, your business partner, your partner, your wife or your husband, and even your kids, but the hardest one is your in-laws. I know it sounds weird. Anything you feel like you want to have an argument, anything that you disagree, you want to be, even though you don't want to say it, sometimes people can feel your energy around it. Just go outside the house, just have a walk and say, I'm coming back, I'm going to buy something or whatever. Just excuse to just go out and take some fresh air, like here, take fresh air. Then your perspective will change, hopefully. So these are the top 3 that I would like to give back to you, that you might apply in your life, in your daily activity. So number 1 is really go back to your subconscious mind. Number 2 is buy a pet, something that is fluffy, preferably. And number 3 is then, go outside, take some fresh air. Alright guys, you're awesome. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe, and I wish you the best day. Thank you. Bye bye. See you in the next episode. Bye.